everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I'm here for Vlogmas Day 15, and for today's video I am here to talk about some of the books that I wish I had gotten to read this year. And these are some of the books that either were very highly anticipated releases for me, or I had on my top 10 to read in 2019 list, which I'll go ahead and link that video up on the cards for you guys. But for some reason I never got to this year. And I have 3 books to talk about today. And they're kind of all over the spectrum as far as reasons why I didn't read them. Some of them were part of a series, some of them were very long, some were bold, and some of them I forgot in the entire plot of the first book. So yeah, those are just some of the reasons about maybe I'm going further. Let's jump right down and get started. The first book that I wish I had read this year was The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is the second book in the Cruel Prince series. This is a series that I had hyped up in my head last year when The Cruel Prince had come out, and I did read The Cruel Prince the month it was released, and I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely not my favorite thing in the world, but I enjoyed it for the most part. And when The Wicked King was announced that it was coming out this January, I was like, okay, I'm really excited to dive in. But as time went on, I realized I couldn't remember a single thing about The Cruel Prince. All I could remember was the ending. So I kept putting off rereading it, putting it off, and now it's December, and I just didn't have the time to dedicate myself to reading or rereading the first book. So I didn't get to The Wicked King in 2019, but hopefully that will change in 2020. Next is a book by one of my favorite authors, and this is on my top 10 to read in 2019. Again, that video is linked on the screen for you guys. And I know that I was putting myself through a challenge and putting this book on that TBR because it is over 1,000 pages long, and that book is It by Stephen King. Yeah, so Stephen King is one of my favorite authors of all time. I started reading his books last year, and I couldn't put any of them down. And it is probably his most famous work of all. Obviously, everybody and their mother knows what the story is about. I don't need to explain it. And I really wanted to give it a chance. Now, I kept putting this off until closer to Halloween because spooky season, this is horror, why not? And I did start this on audiobook, and I was really enjoying the audiobook, but again, this is like 1,200, 1,300 pages long. The audiobook is 44 hours long, and I honestly don't have that much time to sit down and read a 44-hour audiobook, even if I am listening to it on 1.5 the speed, which I usually do. I didn't have the time to dedicate it, especially once October came around, because work really started taking up for me, and that's what takes up the majority of my time besides school. So unfortunately, this was not being able to be conquered this year. Actually, a lot of Stephen King's books that I wanted to read this year weren't able to be read. I read, I think, 2 of his books this year. I read 5 last year, so that's unfortunate. But again, I hope to read this in 2020 or at least sometime in the near future. The next book I wish I had read in 2019 is one that I had a feeling that I was going to read at some point this year, and I wanted to read it during the summer, and then I became part of the read along that was being hosted by my friends Cassie and Brittany, and I had to reread the entire series because it's the last book in the series, and that is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 7th and final book in the Throne of Glass series. Throne of Glass is one of my favorite books of all, or book series of all time, excuse me. And I got this book. I ordered 2 copies of it when it came out last year, and I was so hyped for it. And I remembered that I still hadn't read Tower of Dawn, which was the 6th book, and I just put it off, and then the read-along started in April, and I did read Tower of Dawn while I was reading the first few books in the series at the same time. And then by the time I got to Kingdom of Ash, I was like, okay, we're already on, I think we were on Heir of Fire at the time, and that's when the book started getting bigger and bigger. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to finish Kingdom of Ash anytime soon. So I am planning on finishing this in 2020 because our live show is in February for this book. And all the details are always down below if you guys want to come and join us. But I know this will happen sooner rather than later, but I wish I had gotten to it in 2019. This book that I want to talk about in this video is kind of a last second add-on, so I was just thinking about this and I'm like, gosh, I wish I had read this. And that is God's Grave by Jay Kristoff. This is the second book in the Nevernight Chronicles. I read Nevernight back in September and I was obsessed with it. I loved Nevernight. And since I read Nevernight, honestly, I can't remember a lot about the story. So I need to reread that, and I've been meaning to since then. And then now it's again December, and I just haven't gotten to God's Grave. And now the series is complete, and the web series is now out. It's been created by P.R. Ford, and I'm just dying to watch it, but I'm afraid I'm going to spoil myself for the other two books. So this will be on my list of books to read in 2020. If you guys want a sneak peek at that list, that will be on there. And I will read that. I will read it. That is it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I am posting a new video every single day leading up to Christmas, so make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell to be notified for when I post a new video. And let me know in the comments down below some of the most popular books that you guys want to read in 2019 but didn't get to, as I would love to know. And as always, all my social media links are linked down below for you guys to check out if you'd like to follow me on any of those. And all being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you guys tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 16. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye!